got a quest.
Hello and welcome back to another episode where we'll be taking our listener questions and discussing them in greater detail in an individual type of episode. This has been a rather intricate introduction. We've tried it 4 times and I still don't know what to say. I don't know if you just want to jump in, bro, and do your thing.
I mean, this is coming after episode 103, where we'll be addressing listener questions from both episode 102 and episode 103. This is a new thing we're doing in order to give our listeners a bit more importance and that we don't need to rush our answers in order to stay just under that 2-hour mark.
Exactly. It's like, we've got 5 minutes left. Quickly, listener questions now. This is better. We can discuss them a bit more freely.
Exactly. And make it a bit more conversational, less of a presentation.
Shall we give them a hint as to what happened yesterday? Because this episode was meant to be recorded yesterday. And we didn't record it yesterday, but we did record something yesterday.
We recorded something yesterday with somebody I'm sure a lot of you know about, but that's all we're going to leave it at. It's probably not exactly what you're expecting, but let's just say we're not going to be that quiet in the Christmas period and we've got something to post.
Yes, hashtag watch this space.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the first question is from Frank, our boy on Twitter. Who
yes, I love Frank.
He's
so engaging.
Episode, man.
He's so engaging.
He listens to every episode and he gives us feedback on each episode, and I love that. I wish everyone was like that, you know?
Yeah.
He gives us like great episode and like 2 opinions. It's great. You know?
Everyone be like Frank.
Yes,
Frank,
please.
Don't change a thing, baby.
We love you, Frank. Are Milan still in the title race?
I mean, the boring answer is mathematically, of course they are.
Yeah.
Because there's a long way
that's
of
my
this. There's a long way to go. A lot can happen. We've seen tides shift quite a bit. From what I have seen, Milan are not on the same level as Juve when it comes to getting results, and they're not on the same level as Inter when it comes to playing football. So I do think that those two are going to go all the way, and it'll be very, very close because both of them will struggle to drop points, quite frankly, while Milan will probably end up in a top 4 battle.
The thing is, I can't help but feel that if with this injury situation kind of holding up a little bit, and many of these key pieces from Milan coming back, the worst might be behind them. And we don't know when Juve or Inter, or if Juve and Inter are going to hit a poor run of form, right, this season, because it could be that they just keep going for the entire season.
My thing is that they've both had their injuries. I know Milan have probably had it worse. Inter had it fucking bad, bro, with their defense.
They had defensive injuries.
But what do they have?
Depth.
They have a deep squad, and the deep squad knows how to play the system. They've got Darmian, who knows how to play the system as a right wing back, and he can also play the system as a centre back. And they have that with a bunch of players. We saw Carlos Augusto doing it. We see Hakan. He's capable of playing in multiple different areas of midfield as well. The depth is unmatched. The experience is unmatched. I think Inter can get away with the injuries and Milan can't. We thought they added depth, which they did, but inexperienced depth, it'll just take some time.
I'm gonna put it this way. There are 69 points left to play for. It's match day 15.
Milan 69.
Milan are 9 points behind. 9 points behind first place. So mathematically, as you said, the boring answer, they are still in the title race. But Milan's biggest enemy right now is themselves. Because the ball's in their court, or rather the ball's on their pitch. If they win every game from now on, if they win most games, they'll probably win the league, Milan. That's how it stands right now, because 9 points can be dropped in, very easily. So you're telling me Inter aren't going to lose 3-4 games this season? They're not going to draw anyone,
But you're telling me Milan are going to win all the games? You know what I mean?
That's it. I highly, highly doubt that it's possible. But as it stands, yes, Milan are still in the title race, as it stands.
You know what is not in Milan's favour nowadays? Well, so we know Juve have no European competitions. We know Inter are going to have the Champions League once again this year. Let me tell you what, I think playing on Thursday night is going to serve Milan worse than playing on a Tuesday or Wednesday is going to serve Inter. Because you know what's going to happen now?
Yeah.
So Thursday, firstly, is later on, fucking obviously.
Yeah.
So it's closer to the weekend. Subsequently, Milan are going to play Monday Night Football, and Monday Night Football is different. Monday night football is not Saturday football, it's not Friday football, it's not Sunday football.
There's something in the air on a Monday.
There's something weird about Mondays, Jake.
Yeah,
That
and especially Milan playing on a Monday.
Milan will play on a Monday at 6:30 p.m. in a fourth kit, and someone obscure will score from half pitch.
Bruno Alves! You know, like...
It's that is gonna be Milan's season now.
Yeah. Honestly, most games I've seen Milan play on a Monday ended badly.
Yeah, I think there's a second part.
Frank, yes, he has a part 2. It's about Lorenzo Lucca. He says, with 2 goals for Udinese at the weekend, is it a false dawn or can he actually make a consistent impact? Lorenzo Lucca.
I'm somewhere in between those two statements. I don't think it's a false dawn. Is that the...
Yeah.
I don't think it's a false dawn. I think he's a very talented player, very technically gifted, especially for his size, and he's smart as well. I don't know if he can be consistent because he's not quite there yet. He's still figuring it out, especially after coming from overseas, doing this and that. He's still figuring it out and getting back up to Serie A. Additionally to that, how consistent could you be in a team like Udinese? You cannot be consistent in a team like Udinese. We've seen multiple players struggle for consistency over there, and right now they are one of the worst teams in the league. I genuinely think if he was in a team with a slightly different system, then he could find consistency. Doesn't need to be a better team, but it could be a team that suits his play style a little bit more.
The thing is, I can't help but feel he's being a little bit wasted. Like, I see
Lorenzo
Lucca. Yeah, I was about to say spearheading Sassuolo, or like Atalanta would turn him into a demon.
Absolutely.
This guy, or for those of you who don't know who Lorenzo Lucca is, of course, my favorite thing to mention about this guy is that he's the tallest outfield player in the league, standing at 6'7". Okay, massive guy. That's basically 2.01 meters for...
6'7"
non-Americans.
6'7" is fucking crazy.
Absolutely crazy. He was on loan at Ajax last season. However, he didn't do that well. He played 14 games for them, scored 2 goals, and then I guess he played the rest of the games with Young Ajax. Young Ajax must be like their youth team or something, right?
Yes.
Where he scored 6 goals in 13 games. He's been at the likes of Vicenza, Torino, Palermo, Pisa. He never played for Torino, by the way. But he's always scored wherever he's been. And I think he learned a lot from this year at Ajax, because I like watching him in Serie B and all that. He stands out as a player always because of his sheer size, but his ability to control the ball and hold up play, and his awareness around him, like he sees teammates running into channels and he can play them through. He's a very intelligent player, and I think that year at Ajax served him well. It made him an even more complete striker.
Yeah, we know that Ajax is a hub for creating some of the best players that we've ever had in world football. And I'm not saying actually that Lucca's going to be at that level, but I just hope that he's not ignored or he's not disrespected by the Italian league. Because sometimes they make their decision up about a player and they just don't give them another chance. This guy is just 6'7" freak, only good for headers. Fucking no, he's on our bench.
He's not at all like that, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the consensus might be that if he has a bad season or he doesn't show up.
Yeah, this is his
in a
first.
Season. I hope he doesn't get disrespected because he does have a high ceiling.
This is his first season in Serie A, and he's got 4 goals in 14 games for Udinese. I'm not sure if one of them was in the cup or not, but he definitely has 3 in the league for sure.
Yeah, he has two in one game.
Not bad. Yeah, not bad at all for Lorenzo Lucca.
What do you think? Can he find consistency?
Yes, man. I think so.
At Udinese?
I think yes, because he's much better than Isaac Success. You know, I find it bizarre how he doesn't play more often. Like, you're really going to prioritize industry up front over this sheer talent that you've got.
No, you can't. You can't.
He needs to play.
Agreed.
So, the Azzurro magazine says, looks like injuries are starting to mount up for Inter. Does this current squad have enough depth to maintain their hot form, or are January recruitments needed? Any possible names you'd be interested in Inter signing? So, personally, I think they have enough depth as it stands to go all the way. However, if they need to bring in any reinforcements in January, I think a centre-back would be quite important for them, and a substitute striker is quite a pressing issue right now, because if something happens to Thuram or Lautaro, or if they have to play midweek, in the Champions League. You need to rest one of them. The subs aren't quite...
Arnautovic and Sanchez.
Yeah, they're not always available, are they?
Yeah, and for the first time ever, they don't have great third and fourth choice. Yeah. Well, previously, obviously, we know that their, let's call it third choice, even though it's debatable, was Edin Dzeko, for example.
A great player who could have been
fantastic.
starting
he started for Inter last season. So they had Correa on the bench.
Not a very good option either.
No.
For me, if they need to bring in a striker in January, I think they could try and make a push for Boulaye Dia. That might be a smart signing for them for that third option. Or try get like a loan deal for Ngonja and see how he does, man. You go for those players right now who aren't happy at their club fighting relegation. They might be tempted to leave, and I think those two names in particular can be coups for Inter, and Inter love a good bargain. Huh?
And I think those can be swayed away. Of course, Inter like a good bargain. One of my points here is that they do not afford to make acquisitions in January. Thankfully for them, they have a deep squad that they do. If I had to say they need to address any position in particular, there was Lukaku last season at Inter as well, and he wasn't half bad in the latter stages, so Dzeko was like the third choice, whatever. Look what happened with Samardzic for Inter. They made that acquisition, realized they didn't have that cash, and ended up doing whatever the fuck happened over there. So I don't think they'll focus on making acquisitions unless they get it totally free of charge or for pennies. With that being said, I think the positions that are mainly pressing are a centre-back, as you said, not because they don't have depth over there, but because literally they've had so many injuries over there.
Yeah.
Literally most of them were injured at the same time. And secondly, either give Aslani some more minutes or get a centre midfielder that you can depend on should something happen to Hakan.
Yeah.
Because now it's no longer having Brozovic over there, and if something happens to him, put Çalhanoğlu there, and if something happens to Çalhanoğlu, you bring on Aslani. Now, all of a sudden, you have Çalhanoğlu filling in that role, and then there's Mkhitaryan and Barella. If anything happens to them, there's Frattesi. So it's not like you could move a lot of things around. So either give Aslani some more minutes so that he can perform better over there, in case he needs it, or make a signing that you can trust more than him.
I think there's Sensi as well available, who's quite dynamic. But
Sensi's pretty dynamic, yeah.
Knowing him, like 60 minutes in, he'll pull up and be unavailable for the rest of the month. Poor guy. But good points, bro. I agree. They need a vice Çalhanoğlu for sure, because that position is key to their system.
Yeah.
Another question about Inter from Ben on Twitter. He says, are Inter going to run away with the league, or do you feel Juventus can keep up with them? I feel like playing once a week with the squad they have, Juve can easily keep up with Inter. Not easily, but they can keep up with them.
Juve will be there to the final bell, man, because they can win games. We all know the team spirit that they have in them right now. We all know how many little goals, how little goals they concede, I guess, if that's the correct English. What few goals they would concede. They'll certainly be there. I think Inter, when it comes to playing football and the manner in which they play football and the manner in which they blow their opponents out of the park, no one can play football that well in Italy. I think Inter are head and shoulders the same way Napoli were in that sense, but Napoli didn't really have much competition, bro, when it came to winning the league. This year's Napoli, Inter, they have competition, and it's a more consistent Juve.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And Milan lurking in the shadows is a dark horse, kind of. 9 points away. Perhaps. Yeah, it's definitely tighter at the moment. Ben also asks, can you predict who's gonna go down?
No.
Very difficult, no, right?
I can't.
I probably can't either. However, I would say that Salernitana and Hellas Verona would be two of the more safe bets I would place.
I think so.
Two bets I'm more confident with.
Yeah, I think so. I think Salernitana, considering that they've already made a change in management and haven't improved at all, and they're still rock bottom, and I don't have too much faith in the manager that they brought on board. I think they might be gone, but it's still too early to say, right?
Yes, and everyone's leaving in AFCON, man.
Yeah.
For AFCON. Yeah. Massive problems for them, Salernitana.
Hellas have been flirting with relegation.
It's bound to happen,
for
man.
2 seasons now. Empoli don't look great, but they are improving.
They
I
play
think
better football than the guys around them.
one of my least favorite teams in the league when it comes to how they play football, how they look, and just who they are, Udinese.
Yeah.
I think they've regressed so hard, it's ridiculous.
Look, if you have Udinese and Hellas Verona go down, you get rid of two clubs that have been in Serie A for so long, who were so good at one point and just lacked investment and direction, and then you replace them with the clubs coming up from Serie B with good projects, like of Palermo, Bari, Venezia.
Honestly, Verona and fucking Pozzo's Udinese deserve to go down.
Yeah. The thing is, they usually pull up their socks halfway through the season and just get a few wins to prevent the drop. But yes, I would say that Verona and Salernitana, if I had to bet, would go down, and then it's one of either Cagliari.
Nah.
I wouldn't say they'll go down.
Nah.
Genoa, they have a terrible run, but I highly doubt it as well.
Why are you mentioning teams with such huge testicles right now to go down?
Because honestly, apart from Verona and Salernitana, they've all got huge testicles. You see, Empoli, for example. Empoli are playing good football at the moment, man. Very good football. Are playing the ball around, dynamic. With Andrea Azzoli.
Medium-sized testicles. Medium-sized testicles.
Yeah.
They do struggle to find the net.
They do, that's true. And you need to score to get those points, of course. Yeah, the next question comes from Andre on Instagram, who states, Theo Hernandez has been overhyped. He had his best season in the 2020-21 season. If there has been a time when he was the number one left back in the world, it was then. I don't get how he's still compared to Di Marco.
Who does Andre support?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Because
I would guess Milan.
His previous text is Maignan played unbelievably bad. So either he's a Milan fan or he's an Inter fan. It has to be one of them. So I agree with you that Maignan from your previous text has struggled a bit more recently, although he has just had a fantastic game in the Champions League. Theo's not
He's
overhyped.
a Milan fan.
He's a Milan fan?
Yeah.
Theo's not overhyped, dog. He's simply not. I think shouts that he is the best left back in the world. If you're making that claim, then perhaps you are overhyping him. Yes, he's not the best left back in the world. He is one of the best left backs in the league. I'd say Di Marco right now, in his position as a left wing back, could be deemed more effective because he has way more contributions to goals. But if I had to choose one defensively, for example, I'm going to choose Theo defensively.
Yes,
I'll choose him all day, every day. If Theo was playing as a left wing back, his output could be somewhere close.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that accurate a strike and that accurate a cross, but boy oh boy, when he starts cutting inside, then he's very dangerous. I don't think he's overhyped, bro. But Di Marco at the moment, he's just on way hotter form,
Yes, Theo is having an off season. He started off the season having an off season, rather. He was that season the undisputed number one left back in the world, in my opinion. As it stands now, I wouldn't even say he's one of the best in the league, bro. I'd still say he's top 5 left backs in the world.
Top five is safe to say.
Theo, Milan are lucky to have Theo Hernandez, man, because he's shown nothing but loyalty and gratitude for being there. He has great leadership qualities. He knows how to slow the tempo of games down. He makes himself available to his coach, even offering to play centre-back amidst an injury crisis.
He makes the other team shit as well. Yeah. He embarrasses his opponents, he gets them booked, he gets them sent off. He's got Dumfries, bro, freaking out in derbies.
Maybe not as much nowadays.
But
yeah, absolutely.
And I just don't understand, with all due respect, obviously, how this has come now when we've literally seen that he could even be versatile, that he could even play a centre-back role. Is it an ideal scenario? No, but he's gone there, and I don't think you could say that he's had bad games as a centre-back. Actually, he's impressed me as a centre-back. In a 3-5-2, for example, Theo would be able to play as a left centre-back and a left wing-back. He's got that versatility to him.
And let's not forget as well, this guy plays left wing back with France. Like, he starts nowadays, you know. He's undisputed. That role is his, you know. So he's obviously a very good player.
Second part, I think.
Overhyped? I wouldn't say no. Overhyped. I would say fairly hyped, because many people actually do criticize him quite a lot. So Andre also sent us. He has like a tops and flops kind of standing list he's made for Europe and Italy, based on team performances this season. He warns us that there might be a few unpopular opinions. I want to read out the Serie A gradings and we can react to them. Okay?
Yeah.
We can just say fair or unfair. Okay. So for example, Atalanta 5-.
Fair.
I agree. Bologna 8.5.
Correct.
I'd even go 9.
Yeah.
Cagliari 5.5.
Yes, because they're still in a dangerous position, but they've shown what they can do.
Yeah, I go 6. I'm rounding up. I don't like these halves. 6. Empoli 5.
4.5, 5.
I think 5 is accurate because they started terribly and now they're picking up a bit. So we can't really give them anything more than a 5, but 5 is fair. Fiorentina 7-.
Yes, maybe 7.
6.
Really?
6 for me. I thought they'd get better. They stayed exactly the same. You know, Frosinone 7. I'd go 8.
Yeah, I think considering that they got promoted, then yes.
Yeah. Torino 7.
6
as well. Yeah. Genoa 6.5.
6.5.
They started at like a 7-8, but now they're 6. Yeah.
I'll give them 6.5 just because of what they did to Roma.
Exactly. Sure. Let's give them the 0.5 for bragging points. Verona 5.
No.
4. Yeah. Inter 10. 9.5 because they lost to Sassuolo.
Yeah.
Juventus 8.
I think if you're gonna put Bologna 8.5, you have to give Juve a 9.
Yeah.
They've done good work of the top 7.
They have clean sheets.
9.
9. I mean, it's not nice to watch, but they.
No.
Lazio 3.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you exclude the Champions League, of course, because they qualified there. Lecce 6.5.
A bit lower than that.
They started at like a 7-8.
I'd say that a 6.
Yeah, they probably started. Yeah, I would give that. You know what, dude? 6.5 is fair though.
I'd go 6.
I'll keep 6.5. Udinese 5.
Udinese.
Fair, I agree.
No, I'd go less. I'd go Udinese 4.
But
3.
Based on expectations. Did you expect anything more from Udinese?
I expected them to be way better, bro. They had the start that they did last year.
Fair enough. But you know,
I'd give Udinese a 4.
They kept losing pieces. Pereira wasn't even sure if he was going to stay. Then he missed the entire preseason, joined late. Lorenzo Lucas new, so their only goal-scoring striker was a success who I don't think has ever scored.
Well, you can cry me a river. A lot of teams have had it worse, and the fact that Udinese have been so poorly run is also the mistake of Udinese.
Fair enough.
So I'll give them a 4.
Milan 4.
Harsh. This guy.
Come on, Andre.
No.
We love you, but what's this?
Milan 6. I understand, obviously, that yes, whilst expectations are high, we must be realistic and say this team is entirely new.
Yeah.
And injuries have been a problem, and perhaps many have made the call that last summer there should have been a change in management. So taking all factors into account, 6.
6 is fair. I think. I mean, they're third. You can't really.
But I did just make the argument that it's the fault of Udinese that they're run so badly. So let's give Milan a 5.5.
No, I'd give Milan a 6, man. You're in the top 3. You're on a 6. You know, I mean, they're still somewhat in the title race, somewhat granted. They were balancing the group of death along with this. Like they had many injuries and injury crisis beyond reason. You know, you can't even understand.
Taking in also an element of expectation. Like this is the same side that was beating Napoli 2-0 and came 2-2. The same side. God, what was that game? I was in Australia, bro. I thought we were gonna lose 3-2. We were winning 2-0.
Lecce.
And Milan ended up coming 2-2. A Milan that lost to Atalanta.
Lost to Udinese.
A Milan that lost to
Their
Udinese.
only victory.
The Udinese's only victory.
Yes,
of the
it's not
season.
great, bro. It's not
It's not
great.
great,
But
but
last
they're still in
season,
third
Milan had the
place.
worst title defense in Serie A history. You know what I mean? So you're gonna there were no expectations to run away with the league. You know, the objective
No,
was
but-
top 4 and to try to push for the league. And to be honest, expectations wise, this is pretty much what I expected. It's not far off.
It's just I think a 6 is what I expected, and I think Milan have just been a little bit off that. So
Okay.
I'll go like 5.5.
Fair enough. Monza 6+.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Expectations wise, I mean, they're exactly where I expected them to be. So yeah, maybe even a 7.
Yeah.
Napoli 6-.
If
I'd go
Milan
5.
if Milan
Napoli,
are a 4,
like,
if Milan are a 4, Napoli have already changed coach.
yeah. They're on course for the worst title defense in history after Milan last season.
I'm gonna give Napoli a 4
Yes, man.
based on his knowledge.
Yeah. Roma 5.5.
6.
6, same. Salernitana 4.5. I'd even go as far as a 3.
Yeah.
Sassuolo 6-. I'll give them a 4.
I'll give them a 5.
Yeah, a 5 for beating Inter. Yeah.
Exactly. That was fun.
Yeah,
huh?
thank you, Andrew.
We
That
might
was
have-
actually great
We
fun.
might have disagreed a bit, but that was genuinely fun.
That was
so
good
well
content.
done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Som
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram is a naughty boy, bro.
I like him, bro. I like him a
His
lot.
name is Sombrocco, and he asks, he states rather, not a hot take, but choose a sex position for each club. Torino are missionary, obviously.
That's fucking
That's
hilarious, man.
That's hilarious.
How many
Now,
did you do?
First of all, I don't know 20 sex positions. Right? I don't know 20 sex positions.
I do like 4, I think.
Yeah, I've written a few. They're not even sex positions. They're just concepts.
I
Let's just call them that.
improvise.
Yes,
I
yes.
improvise.
So the first one I did was Sassuolo are 69.
I did Sassuolo are sex at a funeral.
So that's definitely not a position.
But it's so fitting, man.
Why do you think it's?
Because
at a
they've got
funeral?
because like, come on, you don't think
Like it's a good thing happening while a bad thing happens.
like kind of like that. They've also got the self-destruct button just on. It's like they want to do good, but they can't help themselves. You know what I mean?
I think it's more like a 69 because they give and they get. You know, they give points to the bad teams and they take points from the good teams. Like a 69. You know, a 69. Yeah,
69 is good. I prefer sex at a funeral.
Sure. Inter, anal.
Inter, I did doggy. I gave
Doggy.
someone else anal.
Who
With
did you
Inter, doggy, they're just fucking nailing from behind. You know what I mean? You could play around with doggy as well, do a few different.
For Juve, I have aging. They'll get you there, but you sweat and stress a lot.
That's a good one. I did spooning. For Juve, especially because they're the old lady. I have this theory, and I've argued with people over this. I say that old people only spoon to have sex because they don't have the force to like hold themselves up and do this and that. So they just spoon. So the old lady, she spoons, no?
My mind has been corrupted. Frosinone, cowgirl, wild ride.
Frozen on, I did fingering. because they're wild, but they're like 16-year-old wild. You know what
That's
I mean?
true. They are the youngest team in the league.
they're just
That's
fingering
hilarious.
people,
That's
like.
hilarious. That's so accurate. Cagliari, I put intense, heated argument with your wife that ends up in lovemaking.
Cagliari, I did cum shot compilation. It's more like what you look up on porn.
Bologna, good oral.
That's a great one. I don't have Bologna, so I'm just gonna go. My anal one is Roma. Roma are anal.
Why?
I mean, because they win dirty. Roma. Yeah, that's
Fair
pretty
enough.
much
Fair
it.
enough. Fair enough. Genoa, sex with erectile dysfunction. Because they can't keep it up in the second half, right?
I have Milan reverse cowgirl. It's just like it could be the best thing and it can be the worst thing. Like
It's true. It can
it can actually
can
hurt.
lead to an
because of the
injury,
angle,
and it
like.
often does for Milan.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So,
I have one more.
Okay, please, let's hear it.
Empoli, over the pants rubbing.
So just shit.
It's like, some might call it dry, like, what is it in America?
Dry
Like
humping?
first base,
First base. I don't know.
Second
I don't know the
base.
bases, bro.
something like that. It's like just like rubbing over the pants.
Interesting question. So it's nice that we make our listeners feel comfortable enough to come forward with
Uh-huh.
these audacious questions and
Well
hot takes.
done,
Please,
guys.
more of these. Huh?
Yes,
more of these.
well done.
We definitely won't ignore them.
We're really hitting our niche target audience.
Yes,
eh?
man.
It's like weird Serie A fan. I love you guys. What a community.
If you listen to us, you're
Welcome.
straight up weird. Kyle Domek, one of our patrons nowadays,
Yes. Welcome.
asks, who are some players that you guys predict will leave their current teams in January? The first name I can think of, the only name to be
Dia,
honest. is
right?
Dia, exactly.
Dia.
Boulaye Dia.
I also just have a little like food for thought. Just remember that Berardi tried to force his way out in the summer.
Yes.
So just occhio.
Yeah. Sanchez, of course, and Sanchez
Also,
of Inter will probably
I thought
leave.
that maybe, I don't know, Radonjic is good
Uh-huh.
and he doesn't have the manager's trust.
That's
So
good.
maybe Radonjic to go to one of these teams battling relegation, give
Fair
them
point.
a bit of a boost.
Fair point, bro.
Maybe.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't think there are any obvious ones. And I think the likes of Albert Goodmanson, Cyril and Gonge, I think those teams are going to do their absolute best to keep them.
Yeah.
And they're going to be very difficult to nick in January.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah. How would you pronounce Bubune?
Babooni. No, baboon.
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 Baboon asks, question for the next podcast. How on earth did AC Milan let Jack Bonaventura go on a free? Yes.
I have a
And
very simple answer for this. It's the same way they let Pirlo go for a free.
Yeah.
They're typically, and it's a mistake that many big football clubs do, and it is forgetting how good a player is when they hit their 30s and early 30s. They're like, if we need to shuffle things around and remove this salary, then let this player's contract run out. They're 31, 32 anyway, and we could replace them adequately by bringing in some young talent. That's what they did when they got rid of Pirlo. That's what they did when they got rid of Bonaventura. But in Italian football, there are so many late bloomers,
Of
bro.
course,
And that's saying,
man.
like, as much as Pirlo was great at Milan, for example, his role at Juve, those 5 Scudetti in a row, so on and so forth, he was magical. He played the best football of his life over there. Bonaventura is currently playing the best football of his life.
Absolutely,
Quagliarella played the best football on his.
But you
of
can
his
never
life
say,
in the
maybe
latter
this
stages.
new environment did him well. Maybe had he stayed at Milan, he'd be one of the permanently injured players as
Ah,
well. You never know, you know how
When you leave, you get hungry, to
Exactly.
impress, hungry to make a name for yourself at a new place, get an entire city behind you, you know?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the players who came in after Bonaventura left. It was technically Brahim Diaz who was his replacement. And then you look at like that makes no sense, you know. Okay, you're bringing in a youngster on loan to replace a player who was your best player for so long, and he wasn't even that old. He was
we
only
don't
30.
need to discuss the business Milan have done in the past because like some of it is just abysmal, man.
Yeah.
Some of it is abysmal.
So that's it, bro. Those are the listener
Oh,
questions
I thought
we
we had
hadn't
one
discussed.
more, did
There
we
might
not?
be. I might have missed one.
Let me just have a quick
Luca
look.
Argento, if I missed any of your questions, I'm sorry, because it seems every week I miss a question of this poor guy.
I think we got all of them.
Yeah, seems to be the case. Do you have any questions for me, bro?
What kit did you get me?
Ah, yes. So Matt and I, during the Christmas season, we get each other a surprise kit. And I think you're on to me and I think I'm on to you.
I think, how about you leave the room right now and I tell the listeners what kit I got you. And then I leave the room. You come back in. You tell the listeners.
But you're gonna listen back to this?
What you got me.
What's up?
No, we're not gonna listen back to it.
Yeah. Oh, I can go.
Why would we hear it from any
You can
room?
whisper it into the mic. You won't technically hear it. Sarah, just by the way, listening to every episode nowadays because we don't have a door in the studio.
No, this is our live
so
audience.
if you heard a flushing sound, by the way, earlier this episode, that was her.
Or someone running a bath or something.
Shall we do that? Hey, I'm gonna leave the room.
Leave the room. And you know what, bro? And guess which one I got you and then.
No. Okay, actually. Yeah.
You got it? Okay. I got them Cope Miners, and I think he got Miss Calvini. Okay. Remember to whisper properly, like actually whisper.
Alright?
Yep.
You guess who I got you?
Yes.
Okay. Get further away, bro.
Sorry.
And cover your ears.
Sorry. I whispered Mala.
Alright.
So I got Giorgio Scalvini's kit from last season, Atalanta's away kit, and I think he got me a Coop Miners kit because I have a suspicion that we picked the same team. But yeah.
Alright, bro.
What the hell is all this water in the hall?
That's the cat. The cat puts her paw in the water bowl and just blesses the apartment every now and then. Oh, it was Sarah, apparently.
It was Sarah.
Okay, thank you.
I think I might have whispered a bit
Too softly.
I wonder if they'll hear me.
We can't listen back now.
Well, I can't listen back to mine.
What if you accidentally go to the timestamp where I said it and you ruin the surprise, bro?
Fuck it. We'll just leave it.
We stay.
We stay.
Thank you, anyway. That was fun.
Yes.
We should do this more often.
I mean, we do it like twice a week, so...
I
think that's often enough.
No, but it's something we've only just started doing, and I think we should keep it up because it's a fun little episode, a chill episode,
And remember, you don't need to wait for us to announce that you can ask us questions and
just
send us
drop
messages.
them at any time.
We're so chill. Like, we're gonna
DMs
speak about
open.
them. Exactly. And become patrons. You know what I mean? $3.99 a month.
You know what, man? Become a patron, become a legend.
Bro, we should start a campaign. Become a patron, become a legend.
There we go.
Also, watch the space because we have some other news coming out soon, so stay tuned.
It rhymes with Mivame.
Exactly, or Liver May.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
This is Serie A Spotlight.
If you like Serie A or have ever liked it in the past, it's a good opportunity for you to listen once a week and you'll get filled in.
In the football weekend, that's like the main dish. But then a few days later, you drop your episode and that's like the dessert. And the dessert is just perfect.
It's good, the cake.
It makes it feel like we're all sitting in a room together, just BSing with each other.
The atmosphere is fantastic.
I promise nobody will ask you to send boob pics.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
I love how you go into so much detail and show so much passion towards each and every team. Literally, no team is left undiscussed.
When I listen to you, it's like I'm talking to you in a pub. It's like I'm chatting to a friend and you're chatting to me.